welcome to our 43rd episode of Black Dance Stories. Here's a note about why we are here. Our Black dance world was pummeled by COVID-19, and Black dance artists are finding ways to talk about life during this time. Our world was further turned upside down after horrible events ensued nationally and globally, bringing attention yet again to the need for the Black Lives Matter movement. Black dance artists have not been quiet since. Black dance artists have been doing the work. Black dance artists continue to make work. To stay involved, we hold these weekly impromptu discussions and tell stories, Black dance stories. This is one action and we will stay involved. We, the beautiful faces that you see here, are a community working together to support, uphold, highlight, and celebrate Black creatives. Tonight is our 43rd episode of what we hope will be cherished Black dance stories told in the artist's own voices. Tonight, it's Colleen Jennings-Roggensack and Cleo Parker Robinson's turn. Boom, boom, boom. Please meet some of our BDS family. As you know, the first of the month, the beginning, is when we introduce everyone. I will go first. I am Charmaine Warren. I'm a light-skinned Jamaican. I am the great-granddaughter of Ida Boyd, granddaughter of Solomon Goldston and Ruby Chapman, and one of 9 children by Theophilus Warren and my 95-year-old mother, Pearline Warren, who lives in Jamaica. I am the aunt and grand-aunt of 25 plus nieces and nephews at last count. I am a non-disabled Black woman. Now and forever, I promise to acknowledge those who came before me and have toiled to make it possible for me to be present on this land. Today, I give homage to the Native people by acknowledging that I live on the stolen land of the indigenous Lenape people, now known as Montclair, New Jersey, with my husband, photographer and graphic artist, Tony Turner. Wave, Tony. Our daughter, Ashay Turner, a Black ballerina with locks, is in her junior year at Boston Conservatory. I have locks that fall to my shoulders. I'm wearing a green t-shirt and large hoop earrings wrapped with kente cloth. Behind me are photos of our family, a large plant, a lamp, and African masks. Happy Black Dance Stories Thursday, BDS family. It is so satisfying to know that you are all out there and we love to have you in the house. I turn it over to Kimani.
Yes, welcome y'all. As you know, in the words of Gloria Grimes, delicious, delightful dancing night it will be tonight. The importance of acknowledging our familial and dance legacies is an essential tradition. And in keeping with this tradition, I recognize my Indigenous brothers and sisters as a first step in moving toward action. With profound respect, I honor and acknowledge the Lenape, whose stolen land I am zooming from, currently known as Harlem. I am a Black non-disabled woman and I live with my 10-year-old son. I'm sitting in my dining room surrounded by white walls. I have golden hair with close natural curls. I am wearing a white and blue striped shirt. I have spiral silver hoop earrings. And I am the granddaughter of Lucille and Melvin Madison. And on my paternal side, Gwendolyn Allen and Simeon Fowlin. I am the daughter of Ronald Augustus Fowlin, Jamaican warrior and gourmet chef, and Anne Fowlin, rebel and Renaissance woman. I dance because of them all. My son Tamayo, visual artist and poet, keeps me present as I witness this growing, beautiful boy. I am in awe of his amazing talents and his blossoming spirit. With that, I turn it over to Makeda.
Hello, everyone. My name is Makeda Imani Smith. I am the digital media director and producer for this episode. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am currently located in the stolen land of the Powhatan people, currently known as Richmond, Virginia. I am the daughter of Jared and Allison Smith, the sister of Tiara and Alexis Anderson Smith, and the auntie Kiki of Charlie Rose Anderson Smith. I am currently wearing a dark gray shirt with a jean jacket and collar popped, 2 large gold hoop earrings with long, chunky twists, and I turn it over to Marcus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marcus Hughes. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am a brown-skinned, able-bodied Black man with ear-length locks, and I'm currently wearing a Black hoodie with Morehouse, my alma mater, on it. My background is the Golden Gate Bridge because my space is not tight enough to be on video right now. I have to acknowledge my parents, Mark and Karen Hughes, my ancestral lines, the Hugheses of California and Texas, the Richardsons of Orange, Texas, and the Smart family of Manatee, Gales Point, Belize, without whom I would not be in community with you all today. So thank you, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. And with that, I pass it over to Gabe.
Hey everybody, my name is Gabriel Lee Dekolodenu. I am an able-bodied Black man. I go by he, his, him. I am currently located on the stolen land of the Lenape people, known as Brooklyn, New York. I am the son of William and Diane Dekolodenu, and I am currently wearing a gray sweater with some shorts, and I am sitting inside of my apartment. And I really think you guys are in for a special one today. So I can't wait to get it started. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Tony.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Gabe. I am Tony Turner, a non-disabled male of African descent. I am the 7th child of Joy and Wanza Turner, with 5 living brothers and 1 sister, Kathy, who has made her spiritual transition, Ibaye. I am the husband and dance partner of Charmaine Warren, your host this evening. Together, we are the parents of Ashe, another talented dancer. I'm a graphic artist in support of Black dance stories and a photographer and a visual artist. I'm coming to you from the land stolen from the native Lenape people, now known as Montclair. And I'm happy to be part of the Black dance story family and to help it on this journey. And with that, I'll pass it to Cynthia.
Thanks, Tony. Hi, everyone. My name is Cynthia Tate. I handle publicity for this beautiful, beautiful community. I am the daughter of Walter Tate and Greta Shaw Tate from New Orleans, Louisiana. I am an able-bodied Black woman with full natural kinky curls, gold hoop earrings, a gold chain, tortoise shell framed glasses, red lipstick, and a gray, missing my earpiece, a gray sweatshirt. We're live. Now I'm going to pass it on to, well, before I pass it on to Tony, I must acknowledge that I am on stolen Lenape land, now known as Queens, New York. Now I will pass it back to Kamani.
Thank you, Cynthia. So I just want to highlight some of our other folks that are not with us. Antonio Burkett, who is our ASL and responsible for our ASL interpreters. Makeda Smith-Roney, Loving Smith, but Makeda Roney is our producer online. And we have from 651 Arts, David Roberts, Executive Director, Monica Williams, Chief Curator and Director of Programming. And then, of course, IABD, we have Denise Saunders Thompson, who is the President and CEO. So I just wanted to say those names because without people behind the scenes, we would not be here with you in front of the camera. Now, I also want you all to consider, so that we can end this portion strong, please consider donating. We would please greatly appreciate that. And another thing that I'd like to say, and a solidarity statement, please. Our BDS team will continue to stand in solidarity with our sisters and brothers all over the world, with all those who want an immediate end to racial violence and systemic racism. Please continue to act. And I will turn it over to Charmaine.
I think we need to go back to Kata, right? To do some of our social media stuff.
Yes, yes, yes. BDS family community is such a big integral part of Black Dance Stories. So we want to know who's tuning in with us tonight. If you are active on YouTube, please drop a comment. Let us know where you are tuning in from in the YouTube live chat, and ask any questions that you may have as well, because you are absolutely part of this conversation. If you haven't already, connect with us on social media. We are on Instagram at Black Dance Stories, Twitter, BLK Dance Stories, and Facebook, same as Instagram, Black Dance Stories. So all of those links are in the description down below on this video. And most importantly, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are so close to hitting our goal of 1,000 subscribers and family members. So help us spread the word and share for sure. A day where we happen to illuminate our amazing YouTube community is Subscriber Sundays on social media. So if you happen to go on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or wherever, you'll definitely see us giving you a shout out as well. And without further ado, I want us all to celebrate. Grab your cup of happy, wine, water, tea, whatever that may be. And I say cheers to Black Dance Stories.
Cheers. Wait a minute, Gabe and Marcus, you don't have your cup of shame. Cheers.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, beautiful people. Thank you so much, Tony, Gabe. Marcus, you can't go too far. Cynthia, see you soon. Oh, taking all the kisses, sending more back. Mwah, mwah. See you in a little bit. Well, Kimani and Makeda are gonna leave for a while. And in just a minute, Mama Cleo, come on in, you beautiful human being. Come say hello to the people. No, Mama Colleen, I said it wrong. I can't believe I said it wrong. All right, come on, Mama Colleen.
Oh, okay.
See?
Hello.
What did I do? What am I doing? I think I'm like, too excited.
I've been moved.
And then right on the screen.
I have to say
Mama
cheers.
Mama Cleo, you're the surprise. Well, I messed up. I'll see you in a little bit.
I want to say cheers, Charmaine.
Cheers,
cheers, cheers, cheers. Cheers from the desert in Arizona.
You're too far away.
I know, but it will change soon. It will change because we're going to get back on planes and
That's
flying
right.
back and forth. And you've been to the desert. You've been to the birthday cake right behind me.
Yes.
The last building Frank Lloyd Wright built and designed. You danced on that stage.
Wait, did I know that it was the last building? I don't think I knew that.
It was the last one. It was supposed to be the opera house in Baghdad, but they killed King Faisal III. And so
don't tell anybody.
Mr. Wright just happened to have an extra set of architectural drawings. And he came to campus and said, I think we should build a building here. And that's what we did.
And you're the big shot.
I am. I have been in this building for 28 years. Do you believe that?
No.
I know. I think we first met when I was at Dartmouth, but 28 years. I know. It's crazy.
Introduce yourself. We're chatting if no one else is there. However, introduce yourself.
All right. I'm Colleen Jennings-Roggensack. I go by the pronouns she, her, hers. I am blessed to be on the stolen land of the Gila River Sovereign Nation, who I work actively with to make sure that they survive and they thrive. I also am a Texas person. I'm a Tejana. My mother, Lottie Stature Jennings, came from League City, Texas. I was born in Lamarck, Texas. She married my father, Ernest Eugene Jennings. And as he was in the Air Force, he took us around the world so many different times. Both of my grandparents, Louise Mack Stature and Reverend Mack Stature, were Texans And my grandmother lived to be 106 years old. So I come from strong little woman stock. And on my father's side, he is one of 22 from Union, South Carolina. And I have over 400 cousins. So if you say in the chat that you are related to me, you are, without a doubt. I would also say that I am married to Dr. Kurt Roggensack, who works on volcanoes and is a professor at ASU. And we have an amazingly gifted, talented daughter, Kelsey Roggensack, who is at Cornell working on her PhD. I am so thrilled and so proud to be here and so honored to also share this space with a surprise that's coming. It has been a most remarkable time because when you start out and your parents give you sacred texts, you know the journey is going to be profound. My parents, Ernest and Lottie Jennings, gave all three of us, my brother Carl, who was an amazing musician. He played over 20 instruments, was a studio musician, is no longer with us. He's looking down from above. And my incredibly talented sister, Cheryl Jennings-Blanchet, who went to live in Paris, speaks 7 languages, and was an economist, although she was an actress with Joe Pack at the Public. So we have this kind of crazy artistic family, which I think befuddled my parents most days. But we learned from our parents these 3 sacred texts. The first sacred text is, you will be a success if you just broaden your horizons. Probably the most remarkable gift that you could give anyone. You just have to wake up every morning and say, what didn't I not know today that I'll know tomorrow? What did I not do today that I will do tomorrow? So for me, that sort of launched me on my career. I'll come back to that. The second sacred text was, you must give back. So all 3 of us have had a commitment to giving back to the community. My mother always said, you stand on the shoulders of those who come before you. So we knew others would stand on our shoulders, and then our children would stand on their shoulders. So mom is looking down. God bless mom for that. And the third sacred text, my father was a pragmatist. And he said, get a job, get a job, get a job. He said, you can't run away from work. Work will find you. My father didn't live to this time period where we're all trying to find work and figure out what that work is. So I will say to Dad, what I've learned from that sacred text is you invent your work as you go along. I think the thing that's most exciting, having had parents who were in the Air Force, we lived in 13 states and 2 foreign countries. So I knew that adjustment and adaptment was a way of life. So when we lived from Rapid City, South Dakota, Naha, Okinawa, Amherst, Massachusetts, Sheffield, England, all over the place, wherever we were to learn about the art and the culture of where we live. That was another gift my parents gave us. So my dad would say, we don't need to unpack the boxes, get in the car, we're going on a journey. And I remember a most crazy journey where my father said, there's this place in Wyoming called Devil's Tower, and there's a gopher ranch there. We're gonna go and see that. And so those are the kind of parents I grew up. So we drove and drove and drove and drove, and we got to see Devil's Tower. So I was one of the few people in the world, this is dating myself, who knew what that mashed potato mound was in that movie Francois Truffaut played in on the extraterrestrial beings on the UFO movie. And I went, oh, that mashed potato is Devil's Tower. All my friends in the theater went, how do you know? I said, because my father would take us on those places. We also learned that there were so many gifts that you could learn by being in a place. So my parents were not one to keep us cloistered indoors. They would throw the doors open wide and send the 3 of us out there. And my father's favorite saying to us was, don't make me bring you home in a pine box. So we did a lot of exploration on our own. When we lived in Okinawa, the island was 68 miles long. We would leave in the morning and show up in time for dinner. And we learned everything. We participated in a harvest ceremony in the village of Yanabaru. My father had had 3 tours of duty in Okinawa. He was there during the Pacific Theater, and then he came back for rebuilding, and then we came back with him later. And we were out in this village, and a big, huge hemp rope was there, and the sea gods were brought in. We helped the village to carry them in out into the sea. And then we learned how to make sushi. So I was at a pretty young age, junior high, high school, and I thought the whole world ate sushi. In fact, I thought the whole world ended church service with the song, Lord, Guard and Guide the Men Who Fly. And it wasn't until I was in college and I went to a service with a friend and we got done with service and they said, okay, service is over. And I said, well, wait a second, we didn't sing Lord, Guard and Guide the Men Who Fly. And they said, we never sing that song. And I go, really? So there were things that were kind of uneven about growing up in the Air Force, but mostly it was pretty amazing and pretty magical and taught us to be extremely resilient, which was also a way that resiliency sort of led me into the dance field. I was very curious, broadening my horizons about dance, and I read this book called The Rise and Fall and Rise Again of Modern Dance. And I became captivated by the people in that book and thought, whatever this is, I was very young, I want to be a part of this. So I was fortunate enough to go to Oakland University, and I studied under Carol Halstead, who was a Graham-based dancer who taught me dance. And then when I left college, I performed with several dance companies, but had some amazing people like Laura Dean and Meredith Monk and forgot his name, who set work on me, but really set me on an exploration of learning about dance and learning particularly about modern dance and learning about a lot of the gifts that our ancestors left us. I'm so excited about our surprise guest because I learned a lot from her and she is so amazingly talented and we actually work together. So I think one of the things that is
don't tell anybody who's coming.
I didn't. I said, shh. I said, shh, I'm just excited. But I also learned that there's excitement in everyone that you meet and learning and sharing their stories. And I think about my own Black dance stories. And I think about the artists that I discovered along the way, Ralph Lemon and B.B. Miller in their first piece, Parallels and Noir, and being able to present them when I was at the Hopkins Center in Dartmouth. I learned amazingly enough that young people, and I'm calling you young, Camille Brown, have a lot to teach you. And it's wonderful being on the beginnings of Camille's work, but then being able to help and support her as she navigates the Broadway world. You know, she's the first Black choreographer we have had on Broadway since Rent. It's a long time, but now she's a director on Broadway. So I feel like part of my gift, as my parents have said, is understanding about giving back and understanding any way I can help us move ahead, I will. I also believe that this is such a time where self-help, self-care is optimum. It's not an extra. It's not an afterthought. It's what everyone needs to be doing now. So I'm going to let you on my COVID secret, my pandemic self-help care. I've done 2 things. One, I've become a beekeeper. Along with my husband, I'm actually the beekeeper's assistant. So I don't want to make it a bigger thing than it is. I mostly hold a lot of things, but we have 5 or 6 hives. We're producing honey. We have docile Italian bees. Occasionally things, because I live in the desert, come and eat those Italian bees. And I have these visions of our gecko lizards and our snakes coming over and our roadrunners saying, let's eat Italian tonight at the Roggensacks. That's what happens with our docile bees. The other thing I do is every morning I clear my head. And how do I clear my head? My husband and I have a tandem bicycle and we ride 20 miles in the morning. So this morning, thank you, New York, I had a 6:30 a.m. meeting, a Broadway labor meeting at 6:30 in the morning, my time, 9:30 your time. So at 4:45 in the morning, we jumped on the tandem and we just took off and we put about 19 miles in. We can do it in about an hour and 6 minutes. And we just ride and you have a conversation, but mostly you're just pedaling. And I am not the captain. People say, oh, do you ride in front of the tandem? I said, 24 hours a day, I spend the time being the captain of Gamage, my staff. I'm the captain. This time I get to be the stoker, because the person who rides behind the captain is called the stoker. But you know what the stoker gets to do? The stoker gets to say, let's take this direction. Let's pedal a little faster. And you must know that I'm terribly competitive. So if we see another rider in front of us, I say, go faster, go change the gears, go faster, so we can pass that person. And sometimes we do, with all respect to Muhammad Ali, well, I'll tell you a little story about him later, we do rope-a-dope. So we're pedaling along and people say, look at those sweet old people riding on the tandem. And just as they get a little ways away from us, we turn it on and we pass them, rope-a-dope. Muhammad Ali played a really interesting role in my journey. When I was in the 4th grade, we were stationed at Westover Air Force Base, and Muhammad Ali came to the base, and it was a big deal. So my parents got us all dressed up, and we were dressed up like it was Easter. Had a hat, little lace socks, patent leather shoes, a little purse to meet Muhammad Ali. It was so thrilling and so exciting, and he was actually Cassius Clay then. He had not converted and not changed his name. Fast forward years later, we had Billy Crystal on the stage at Gamage. Well, it turns out Billy Crystal and Muhammad Ali are great friends. Muhammad Ali lived in the Valley of the Sun, which is where I live. So Billy said, I would love to have Muhammad Ali come. And I said, great, we would love to have Muhammad Ali come too. And he goes, and it's his birthday. And I want to get a birthday cake, and I want the whole audience to sing happy birthday to Muhammad Ali, which happened on our stage, and it was remarkable. Actually, Muhammad Ali continued to come to performances that we had at Gamage until he passed away, and that was an honor and a thrill, but a connection from my very young self to my much older self. The other thing I have found through dance is it is a language that no matter where you are in the world, you speak it. So I could be in St. Petersburg, Moscow, watching a dance company and speaking Russian. I could be in Tokyo, watching a dance company, whether it was kabuki or whether it was Buto, speaking the language. That is what I love about dance. That is what I love about the work, that it connects all of us together. And I love the fact that we understand our ancestors through this time. I understand the fact that before we spoke, before we wrote, we danced and we communicated through dance. And I think that is still happening today. And one of the things that has brought forward with me with the pandemic is the importance of Black dance, the importance of Black dance to rejuvenate us as a people, but also to open the doors as we are trying to make those communications happen for everyone. It is so wonderful to be here, and I get to talk about a lot of things. The other thing that gives me great joy is I'm drinking out of, I won't say what's in here, but my favorite mug, and it says, I am silently correcting your grammar. That's my black cat. Her name is Scooter, but she's not the only cat I have. I actually have 5 cats, and they're all rescues, and they all have different personalities. And what I love about cats is they are who they are, and you have to take them for that. So I have one cat, her name is Bumblebee, but we call her Bumbles, and she is mission driven. You can be her best friend if you give her a treat. If you don't give her a treat, she doesn't care about you. She will move on to someone else. We have this gorgeous Duluth calico. Her name is Goose. She's actually Gray Goose. Yes, I know, who would name their cat after a beverage, but we did. But we only call her Goose. And her whole mission in life is to be first favorite. She doesn't really care about the other 4 cats as long as she's first favorite. And those are the older girls. We have 2 younger girls, and we call them the party girls. And it's Speedy, Speed Racer, and Whisper, who's AKA in witness protection. Speedy's amazing. Speedy will follow you everywhere, and she'll say, what are you doing? And why are you doing it? She will also say, what is that machine? that tandem? Where are you going with it? And she'll be there to greet you at the door when you come back. Whisper is in witness protection. She's only been with us for 3 years and she still doesn't trust us. And she's always on the lookout for the US Marshals who will look after her. And so 5 cats, I highly recommend it. They are smart, they are their own people, and they are graceful. And so those 5 cats and I dance frequently, and they love to dance, except for Witness, Protection, Whisper, who will watch from afar. But the others, they just glide and leap, and so reminds me of dance and what we're doing. I think the other thing that I do love is living in the desert. You can see behind me cactus and palm trees, and I wake up to that every morning. And people will say, oh, you live in the desert. Ugh. Even Charmaine said, when are you coming back to New York? When are you moving? When are you leaving there? There is a peace in the desert. There is wonder and excitement, but there's a peace about the desert that you don't find anywhere else. Also, you have to be pretty spectacular to live where it gets up to be 122 degrees. And I wish I was joking, but I'm not. I often spend a great deal of time outdoors, and I don't think it becomes hot until it's about 110 degrees. Then I think, okay, it's hot. But after that, it's like, there's something very special about the desert. And I wish that Charmaine would come and spend more time with me here in the desert, as would our special guest, who I cannot name. One of the other things I think that's really wonderful is the ability to make life. People will often ask me, what is the most amazing production you've ever done? It's my 30-year-old daughter, Colleen Jennings-Roggensack. When she was really little, she would say, you don't ask, you don't get. And I would go, oh, what a great life lesson. She also happened to have turned out to be an amazing swimmer. She was an All-American with 1 Masters World Record. And she would say when she was little, she's like 5 years old, a little fish swimming, she would often meet me at the airport because I was coming from some dance festival somewhere in the world. And she and her dad would pick me up and she'd say, Mom, you'll never believe what I did today. I go, what did you do? She said, I learned to swim a 500, which is 500 meters in a pool. And I went, 500? That's incredible. I go, what's the secret? And she kind of looked left and looked right and whispered, just keep swimming. And you know, that's the secret of life. When people ask me who my role model is, it's Kelsey, because she is always telling me the secrets of life. Now people will say, oh, I think we heard that on, what was that movie about a little fish swimming around? But that movie was made 12 years after Kelsey was born. So that's her line, and Ellen DeGeneres said it, and she owes Kelsey a royalty. So the secret of life is just keep swimming. Kelsey also said, in addition to don't ask, if you don't ask, you don't get, just keep swimming, is that the world is a place that it's your responsibility to take care of people. She still does it today in various charities that she works with, but she knew it as a little tiny person. So one day I went to pick her up at a school, and she went to the school called the Awakening Seed School. And it's an amazing school. And the director is Mary Glover. And we celebrated winter solstice, so all religions were important. We understood the earth and the ground, so students learned about science and math through crop yields. They also took care of a senior in a senior citizen center. So Kelsey played with 97-year-old Adele. They would play the piano together. But the most important thing about the Awakening Seed School is that we are stewards of each other and of the planet. So one day I went to pick her up, and there was a little boy, and there was a little person, and they had long braids. And I said, oh, Kelsey, tell me who your little girlfriend is. And she went, Mom, Mateo is Native American, and that is a traditional haircut. I think she was 4. And I went, oh my God, what have I done? So she really taught me to like step back and look and pay attention. So it is the wonderful thing about children. Then they do things that terrify you, and you wondered why your parents were terrified. I remember when I told my parents I was on a series of trips, and they were all to countries that were in process of war. And I went to explore what art was, how you made art at a time of war. So I was in Belfast during the time of the Troubles. I was in Israel during the old city being shut down and the wars happening, and bomb going off in the Dizengoff Center, and then in Yugoslavia during the balkanization of the states. And my mother and father were terrified, and I couldn't understand why, because I was like, oh, I'm grown up, I know what I'm doing. Well, my beautiful daughter received her first Fulbright to go to Indonesia, and not just like Bali, because that's not Indonesia, and not like even Jakarta, the city. She went to Gorontalo, a little small village. So being a dutiful mom, I looked up right away going, Indonesia, how do Black people fare in Indonesia? And I understood that they don't like us so much. So I began to panic. I went, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not really sure you should go to Indonesia. Maybe you could ask the Fulbright for another country. She goes, Mom, I'm going to Indonesia. I have wanted to go to Indonesia since I was in the first grade. And this is true. She did a report in the first grade on the life and culture and politics of Indonesians, the Awakening Seed School, and then presented it. I remember my father-in-law, who's now 96, was watching it, and he said, I didn't know where Indonesia was till I was in college. I said, I'm not sure I even know where it is today. She went off to Indonesia, made her way in the world there, has dear friends there, loved her time there. I went to visit twice to see what life was like in Indonesia, and it was incredible. So she indeed is my most proudest production. I know that time is coming to a close.
I have to take you on another trip.
Would you? I would love to go. Are my 20 minutes coming to a close?
Yeah, well, it's time to bring in Denver.
Okay, I thought so. It's time for the real surprise.
So Denver, don't go anywhere. Okay, Mama Cleo. Now, Mama Cleo, come on in. Wait, you just muted yourself. You unmuted and muted.
Oh God. Okay.
Look who's here.
Mama Cleo, come on.
Listen, Colleen, I was so mesmerized. I'm like, I'm just going to sit up here and have a cocktail and just be in Arizona, honey, and forget all this. This is so wonderful. I can't believe it. Mwah, 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 mwah,
But wait, before I leave you two, y'all got some friends up in here. Laura Marchese, Grace, Liliana, Neil Lenoir, Kenneth Prado, Bruce Rodriguez, Teresa Vega, Rian Granados, Jacob Pinate, Lori Uprichard is here.
Oh, Lori!
Ann Davison is here. And Joe Melillo is here.
Joe! Oh my God, Cleo.
Now you two, I love you to death. And I have to come back after 10 minutes. So please let me back in. I'm just saying.
All right.
Okay.
Because Cleo and I have a lifetime of discussions to have.
But promise me you're going to let me back in.
We're going to let you back in, but honey, how wonderful to be here with you.
I'll see you in a minute.
All right, love. All right.
Bye.
How exciting, sugar. Oh my God, I was on the journey with you, honey. How marvelous. And I've never met your daughter. Oh, and your husband. Oh, that's so wonderful. You know, it's so funny when you meet someone and they have that place in your heart, you sort of stay there. But today I was like, wait just a minute. Honey, she's been all over the world and I'm ready to be with you. Because honey, you know what? After 51 years of doing this, I'm like, okay, it's just beginning. It's just beginning. You know that? Just beginning. Bravo, what you're doing there, honey. 28 years or so. Bless your heart, love.
Well, Cleo, I can remember being alone, knowing no one, and moving to Colorado and discovering the Cleo Parker Dance Ensemble.
Yes,
and thinking it's going to be okay. 50 years, yeah?
51 years, May 31st, honey. Is that deep? So, you know, that's when it's going to be. So we're really blessed. We just had our 51st anniversary and just being married 51 years too. So I would say my husband, Honey, my husband is a saint. That's all you can say. That's all he can say.
Well, I think he
How
found an
marvelous.
angel. I think he
Oh,
found an angel
oh,
and
honey,
stuck with it.
we're
You know,
blessed.
Cleo, I just remember seeing the company for the first time, but also seeing the legacy of the number of dancers that you have sent out across the country who also started their own companies.
Yeah.
It's just extraordinary. And what was Denver like? Because you grew up in Denver.
Oh la la, honey. Well, you know, it was so different. And let me say this. I was born in Denver. I was raised a hot second in Dallas, but I just knew I was going to be in New York. Listen, I did not see myself in Denver, Colorado. That wasn't even in my brain. It's like, as soon as I can get on that plane, that's where I'm going to be. But when I went at 19, my whole life shifted after seeing Alvin and Arthur Mitchell in Harlem. And I just was like, I don't want anyone else to experience feeling like they were out. I mean, you know, this feels like a desert, except it's in the mountains.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's isolated. So, honey, you know, I came back and had another mission, but it's taken this long, 5 decades, to shift it so that it feels different. And I think, you know, this generation that wants something to happen so quickly, I think you have to say, you know, be patient. The resilience that you talked about, those wonderful jewels that your parents gave you, it really is about that. You've got to be patient. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, Cleo, you said something really wonderful, and you always say wonderful things, but this was at our Women of Color in the Arts gathering in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, we meet in this huge circle, and you stood up and addressed everyone. And you gave such inspiration, and not only about resilience, but about loving who we are. Do you remember that?
Oh gosh, yes, I remember now. Honey, that's why I love that circle that we had. It was so important to have women of color coming together, how much we needed it, how much we need it. You know, I feel we're blessed to be able to speak our truth. So often people they haven't found their voice, or they haven't given themselves permission. You talk about self-care, self-love. It begins with listening to your voice and saying, listen, it's all right. That's my journey. That's why I love what you shared today. Honey, your journey is extraordinary. And you get to stop and honor it with your cats and with your bees, honey, with your husband and your tandem. I love it. With
A
your cat.
little crazy. So tell me, what do you do for self-care?
Well, sugar, guess what? I follow my husband and I get to carry his bags, because when I am running this company and I'm all over the country, I've got to be the captain. I've got to be right out there. I got to know what's happening right before we hit it. And when I'm with him, I get to just walk up and be like, okay, sugar, tell me where we're going. Tell me what we're doing, where we having dinner. I love that. I love it. I get to be a wifey. I get to be a wifey. Nobody even knows I have a husband. I've had one for 51 years.
Oh my God.
I get to be, and we play golf. We go everywhere and we play golf.
Oh, you're a golfer.
I'm a golfer, girl. However, you know, I'm not gonna talk about my game, but I just came back 2 days ago from playing in California, and we played in Arizona. We love playing.
Where did you play?
Girl, I don't even know, but I know it was hot. I do remember that. Talk about
early in the morning, and it's still hot.
Heat. You got to get out there early. But we played, you know, we used to work in Arizona a lot. I was at the Gila River on the reservation there with the wonderful indigenous community there. We had a ball. But when Tom comes, he is ready to play golf. And what I had to figure out being married was, if he's going to spend 4 hours somewhere where I don't get my time with him, I'm going to be right with him. So I learned to play golf. And but the problem is he's a coach. He's a coach. So he really tries to coach me. I'm like, wait. I like to hear my music. I want a little cocktail. I want to be able to look at the dragonflies. He's like, Cleo, no, focus. He gets very serious. He gets very serious.
And the thing about golf are the outfits, because I don't really like golf, but I like the outfits.
Absolutely. I play golf with women at Hilton Head, and they take me to shop, honey. So I got all these outfits and I came back and I said, Tom, we have to go to different places because I have several different outfits. And so but anyway, it is the outfits. They got it down. These sisters who I play with, they're very serious, but they got the outfits, honey. They got them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, it's wild because sometimes I'm leaving a concert or something. And so I'm sort of dressed from whatever I've been in. And I go out on the golf course and Tom will look at me and go, what do you have on? I said, well, sugar, I didn't have time to do all that changing. I didn't have time. So I had to respect the attire on the course, but we have a ball. And but there's so many things. I love this. So many,
your goddaughter is a sun devil. Yes.
I know. I'm so proud of her. Oh, she just came back first semester. Gabby came in and she's so happy. She's following in her mother and father's footsteps. So Retta's been with us over many years, honey. And to know that Gabby was going to go, when I realized Gabby was going to go to college and she'd been with me in our studio from the age of 3, I just cried. I was crying hysterically. I went, what is wrong with me? I realized that she was like my child and it was hard for me to let her go. And I was so worried during the pandemic that she was going to be there. And then when we found out she didn't have a roommate so my granddaughters got on the phone and said, okay, Gabby, let me see your room. Okay, so where's your roommate? What do you mean you don't have a roommate? It was just all of that. It was just really wild. My little 7 and 11-year-old grandchildren who I adore. Because, having only one son, I never was able to do the girly things.
Yeah.
I couldn't do all that. But they are serious girls and they love Miss Gabby. So they're there with her and just checking out, what do you do at night? How long do you study? Oh, they're just, they do long interviews about what she's doing.
Great. So what do your grandchildren call you?
They call me grandma this, grandma that, and they're a hoot. They're a hoot. And the thing they asked me since, Malik is our executive director now. He is phenomenal, honey. He should have been the executive director a long time ago because I was holding on to everything. Like, okay, I'm the founder. Okay, I'm the CEO. Okay, I'm the artistic director. I'm the executive director. I'm the choreographer. I was like this. Donna McKell said, there's just so many seats you can sit in, Cleo. I said, I hear you, but you felt like you had to. It wasn't like a choice. Yeah. But when Malik became the executive director, the grandbabies said, so mama, grandma, who's the boss? And I said, Malik's the boss. I said, Malik's the boss. They said, no, he's not. You're his mother. You're the boss. I said, don't tell anybody. I said, you were right about that.
It's secret behind the scenes. Now, Cleo, has your studio stayed in the same place all these 51 years?
Oh, no. I've had several studios, but I've been in this particular building, Shorter Amy Church, for over 30 years now. We've been renovating it. And we even were able to build the stage during the pandemic. We rebuilt the stage, which was just terrific. Honey, so we came on the stage, I did a blessing. It's just, it's a sacred space. It's a sacred space. So I'm just so happy. So many people say, Cleo, you should be here and you should be there. And I go, I will be everywhere, but I won't leave this place.
Right.
Because the ancestor spirit really is here. It's really
back, y'all.
Think about
yes. And
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. We have to let you in because we're done.
You have to let me in.
Oh, come on, girl. Come on.
Because you promised.
We did. True to our word.
So before you go, Mama Colleen, Zane Booker is here. Retta is here.
Oh.
Angie Pittman, another one of our BDS people is here.
Gosh.
And Hank Smith is here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
See,
Whoa.
I told you your friends were coming.
It's because you had a secret guest.
I know.
Yes. Oh, please, no. Because we have you.
Both of y'all.
Right, sugar. That's so wonderful.
All right. Don't go too far, Mama Colleen.
I'll see you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Mama
Bye,
Cleo.
honey. Good to see you. We'll see you in a minute, huh?
Cheers, Mama Cleo.
Oh, sweetheart, thank you. Look at
Cheers.
salute, sugar. Oh, yeah.
Salud. I
My
don't know what
grandbaby gave me
I
my
would do if I didn't hear you saying sugar to me. I don't know
Oh,
what I would do. All right.
Oh, honey.
Introduce yourself, and we're here to hear whatever you want to tell us.
Oh, honey, thank you. Well, first of all, it is truly a joy and an honor. And you're so beautiful, honey. Absolutely. Seeing you take on this wonderful project, just what, a year? And it's so marvelous. When I heard I would be with you and to do this, and then to be with Colleen, and then watching some of the other artists, I feel like this. Now, look at this. This is what we need. It's like some soul food, you know.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can get myself together, honey. I was already in the next journey. So let me rewind for a second. But you know, I am Cleo Parker Robinson, and I go by the pronoun she, her, hers. And I was born in this wonderful area that is stolen land of the Apache, the Cheyenne, and the Ute tribes. And also I want to honor the stolen people from our motherland, because we have worked the land. And that's some of the heritage that I come from. I really feel as though I'm honored to have such a great ancestors. I want to share, first of all, what I'm wearing. It was very hot today, so I'm wearing a dress, a kind of a red dress, a little sassy, because I felt so bad all night. I said, well, I'm gonna wake up and try to be sassy. So I had to change my attitude. I have some, like a red floral dress with gold and silver earrings that are wiggly waggly. I got my hair is kind of, you know, kind of red, you know, it's a little gray underneath, but you won't see it. And it's curly. And I'm African-American, light skinned, born of African-American father and Euro-American mother. And I give tribute to my family, because I would not be doing what I do every single day of my life if I did not have parents who love me so much. But I want to share a little bit about, and I'm an able person. And I just want to say that, you know, I'm the daughter of extraordinary parents. I was the first of, I would be 11, and everybody thinks I'm an only child. I just wanted to clarify that, no, my mother, Martha May Parker Roberts, came out of San Diego, and she was a French horn player at a very young age. And she played at the age of 12 and loved classical music. My father, out of Texarkana, Arkansas, by Jamaica. He talked about Jamaica all the time and never really knew a lot of his family, but felt that connection. Jonathan Parker, we called him JP. He was my guru. He was the first Black actor in Denver. And so I grew up in the arts with them. But what was so wonderful is my grandparents, I was able to grow up with them as well. And I want to thank them because they're my ancestors. All of them have made their journey now and are loving this moment, I must say. My mama Cleo, I was named after her, Cleo Jean Parker, and she was born a twin. And later in her life, she lived to about 100. She shared that she was a slave and that her father was a master. And we were absolutely shocked out of Texarkana, Arkansas and Texas that we would hear this. And she said, well, what were you going to do with all that information anyway? She said, it's just what it was. And so that was really a powerful moment for us right before her transition. My Jerusha Manning was also my grandmother, my blood grandmother, and Jesse Wayland Parker, we called him Daddy Wayland, was such a, he just introduced me every time I went to church as if it was the first time I went to church. He was a missionary. And every time I say, Grandma, I said, Daddy Wayland, they know who I am because you introduce me every Sunday. He said, I want them to know who you are because you're gonna make some change. I said, okay. So anyway, that's Daddy Waylon and Mama Cleo. And we lived with them in Dallas, Texas during Jim Crow laws. And so that had a great effect on me. So I thank them for protecting us and guiding us and sharing what this whole Jim Crow experience was and helped me manage my life within all of that. My other side of my family, of course, is Florence Pearson Gray, my mother's mother. My mother's father was Earl Gray, but that was her stepfather. Irwin Roberts was her father. I never met him, but I did meet her stepfather. And he was a developer who developed Waikiki Beach. So the first condos were on Waikiki. And the first, I guess, wonderful telescope in California is his design. And so they were sailors. They were out of San Diego area. And so we had these two different dichotomies of ancestors coming into my life. But I was so blessed to have brothers and sisters. I was the oldest. So, I love all of them. Two of my brothers have made their transition, but my brother right after me, 2 years, we were all 2 years apart, John Wayland Parker Jr. I loved him. He was also my dancer and poet. We would do Langston Hughes poems and I would dance. We would dance in our basement and create music and madness. And Philip Bailey would grow up in the basement with my brothers and sisters. And so I always go, honey, Earth, Wind, and Fire was happening in my basement. And we adopted two more. And then later my father married. I have another brother and sister who are in their 20s. I'm in my 70s. So it's been a great journey. I always get tickled. My mother had two. So I have two sisters in California. I have a brother who worked for Michael Jackson all those years. So honey, what a life. And I've just been blessed. So I thank all of my brothers and sisters who were all in my company in some way. They played music or they danced or they supported me. My mother ran my school. My father was my technical director, did all my lighting and sets. He trained an all-women tech team to become the first women to run tech in theaters around the world. And what a journey, what a journey. I want to thank my grandbabies who give me joy every day. And they understand their ancestors who are native, they're indigenous people who are in our blood. And I just feel very, very, very blessed. I could go on and on. I've got nieces and nephews and cousins, but I'm so busy. I've created a family outside of the family, within the family. And so the dance family has always been a part of everything. And of course, my beautiful husband, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Honey, I love him. He is, we got married right when I graduated from college at Cumberland Women's College. But I met him at 12, right when I came back from Dallas, Texas. So I look at my 11-year-old granddaughter and I go, don't you be looking at no boys. I love that part, right? And she goes, but didn't you meet Grandpa Trump? I said, that's my business. Hold on. So anyway, I did meet him. And he was an athlete and a scholar. And he inspired me always to be the best dancer I could be. And yet, I thought I was going to be a doctor because that's what my father wanted to be. So I studied medicine, I studied Latin. Then I realized I didn't have the stomach to really work in a hospital after, being a candy striper in the hospitals and stuff. It just didn't, I had too much empathy. I would be almost sick leaving the hospital. And I had ulcers young because I worried about everyone and everything. But I found my joy in movement and dance. And that was just extraordinary. So I got very ill when I lived in Dallas, Texas. And so I understand that racism, because of the Jim Crow laws, here I was drinking out of my mother was drinking out of white only water fountains, and I was drinking out of colored. And I would say, Mama, wait. I feel like my water is being cheated because my water is supposed to be colored and your water is supposed to be white. And I don't understand it at all. So this part of discrimination and segregation and all of those things that I experienced very young, I had to process them very quietly for myself. And I became very mute. Believe it or not, I did not talk. And my husband says, I don't remember a time in your life you ever did not talk, but there was a time. And I then began to try to observe people, understand where was their highest place. And it was when they were doing what they loved. And there was something so beautiful about it. Didn't matter how different they were, that if they were doing something that they loved and they were sharing it, they looked like they were their best self. And I began to bring people together, moving, not thinking I'd be a choreographer, but I started choreographing pretty young and teaching pretty young. And so that was fun. That was fun. And I think my parents were just concerned that with such division going on in communities, that I'd have to find out what it was I really loved. So I became sort of an athlete early, played basketball, did all that good stuff. I went to the Olympics pretty young in, the Junior Olympics. And I remember filling out a form and it says, fill out your race. And it was like Negro, Caucasian, blah, blah, or other. And I put other because I was mixed. My daddy took that application and said, other does not exist. You are Negro. And I said, well, that's what I know. But trying to deal with race and humanity and all of that, all of my life has just been an extraordinary journey. And I say every day I'm having a party, every day trying to figure it out, how to bring folks together. So I'm very similar to Colleen. She's just amazing. That I knew that being born in Denver, people were always going over Denver. They weren't coming to Denver. And if you were Black in the community, it was felt like, maybe people felt like it was the ghetto or whatever that was. And I was born in this extraordinary place called 5 Points. And 5 Points was the Harlem of the West. And I was born in the Rossonian, in this historic space. And so having this, I'd like to say people like Charlie Burrell, who was one of the baddest bass players in any symphony in the world, brought me home from the hospital because Daddy hated being at the hospitals. And I never even know he brought me home from the hospital until I was working with the symphony. And I've been really blessed to work with symphonies and operas and jazz ensembles and so on. But one of the things that happened is, I think we were doing Aida, and it was the last night of the concert, and the concert hall was packed. And I came out to take my bow, and it was his last year of performing with the symphony, 50 years he had done. And he said, there's one thing I want to share with this audience at Better Concert Hall, is that my greatest pride is bringing that one home from the hospital. And he's Diane Reeves' uncle. And I said, what do you mean that one? He says, you. And I'm on stage and I'm going, you brought me home from the hospital? I never even knew that. And so I came home, I said, Daddy, now how did Charlie Burrell bring me home from the hospital? Give me that story. And he said, I was working, I was an actor. He said I had to work like 4 jobs to be an actor. So that's why he wasn't always encouraging me to be an artist, because he knew you have to be able to work. You better work it and create your work. Very much like what Colleen was speaking about. You've got to invent your jobs almost. And so I think it was so wonderful to be able to do something that he thought might not be possible in Denver. And he was a part of making that happen. And my husband became our manager because he was a math teacher and he knew about accounting. So I used all of the love and beauty around me. So I always say my name might be on the building, but there's a whole lot of names that made this happen. My board members, the wonderful poets that became my creator with me, Shalene Pauls out of San Francisco. She went to Howard. So when she came back from Howard, she was like this, Cleo, you felt like you were a New Yorker. And we got to get to New York. And I said, okay. Well, I had been to New York at 19 and I knew that's where I wanted to be. But I said, but I don't think I belong there. I need to be where people don't expect art to come from. They don't expect a Black community. And we began to work on building it, you know, like brick by brick. And we're still building. And I'm just so tickled that we years later created with Joe Myers Brown's vision, the International Association of Blacks. That was just right where I wanted to be, because we had already been bringing Elio Pomari and Rod Rogers and, oh my God, Baba Chuck Davis, Baba, you know, I met Baba when I was carrying Malik. I was studying in Brooklyn and I was as pregnant as ever. I was, and he would just bring me, Abdel remembers, you know, I would come in and take his classes. But I remember Baba when Baba was a modern dancer, before he was an African, because he was with Elio Pomari. And it was just a magical time to have Denver began to be a mecca for the arts and to watch that transformation become a part of it. And our Black community was so critical. So I have all of these wonderful books I love. In my office, I'm here because I wanted you all to kind of get a sense of it. I have this wonderful photograph of well, Hattie McDaniel. You know, they say she was here in this shorter AME church, Madam C.J. Walker, right in this church. So I feel their spirit. I feel it all the time. But then I brought Catherine Dunham to be here many, many times to work not only with the company, but to be with our young people. So I just wanted you to get a little sense of the environment that I create around me. It's like for me, it's a temple. So I have my candles, I have my incense, I do my libations, and I give thanks every day. But I want you to see a little bit of Miss Dunham is very present. So let me see if I can carry. So being in Egypt was really marvelous. Being, you know, called Cleo. They always call me Cleopatra, and I'm like, I'm gonna get to Egypt one day. So taking the company, representing our company in Egypt was phenomenal, and in Israel, and in 30 countries around the world. So I knew I wanted to bring 5 points to the world and the world to 5 points. So am I having a party or what? Okay, so I wanted Retta to come and help me kind of walk through the room here. So here we are. We're going to do a little bit of journeying around so you can see Miss Dunham's picture. I just got a wonderful gift. I have lots of gifts. People are so giving. But one of the gifts I got was of Catherine Dunham's husband's original sketches. And of course, I worked with Miss Dunham in East St. Louis, and I'm able to do her work. My company does it. And I've been able to dance Barrelhouse Blues and bring her here with Julie Belafonte and Tommy Gomez and Benoit Aikens, and they blessed us. But I want you to feel some of the spirit here in the house, in the Clear Park Robinson house right in here. Okay, so that's my hubby. How fine is he? Okay, excuse me, there he is, Tom Robinson, but I can see the light on him. Okay, but he is just amazing. I love seeing him every second. He came by today. Okay, you can see my daddy. Let me see, Jonathan Parker, the first Black actor here in Denver. So I was able to really follow in his footsteps of doing Ed Bullen's works and works about Malcolm X. There's Miss Dunham. I don't know if you can see it very well. Where is she, honey? She's up there. But that's when she's with Alvin. She's gotten the Kennedy Center Award. And this is a wonderful, this is, of course, Miss Dunham's husband. And it's just an incredible sketch of his fantastic costumes he designed for her all the time. Yes. And then I worked with the Messiah, brought the Messiah here from Kenya, and brought them to our Black Arts Festival. And we have one of the largest Black Arts festivals in the country. Okay, I'm gonna have, okay, we walk around here. There's my Black book. Okay, I love that one. We didn't know we were gonna do this. It's just a thought I had here real quick. There's Miss Dunham over there. And so I've been doing the Barrelhouse Blues for many years, but there she is, who is such a mentor in my life and in my spirit. And so as an ancestor, she is always present. And then we have Working with the Maasai was phenomenal, but working in different parts of the world, bringing the company in with the Maoris and then bringing the Maoris here and having them perform on our stage and spend so much time. And then of course, Ed DeWhite's magnificent sculptures are right here. And Ed DeWhite was really, he is a phenomenal sculptor. In front of Morehouse is his sculpture of Dr. Martin Luther King. And I love that. So these are gifts that were given to me by a tribe there in Arizona. And it was raining like a monsoon rain. And they brought these wonderful staffs for me. And we did prayers and they have the hummingbird on there. So I have lots of really beautiful, beautiful gifts that come to me. And then my Marceline Freeman, who danced with me with David Rousseff. Marcy's been with me for 38 years and made a difference for our company. So Eddie, I just wanted to talk about one more thing that's in my office, and I know it's time to move on, but the Black Report is something I'm so excited about what we've been able to do. And this is
Mama Cleo, keep going, but I want Mama Colleen to come in and
oh yes,
yes, the Black Report, come on.
Unbelievable. Just seeing, we didn't even know our history. Look at all of this.
And who do we give thanks to for this? Who do we give thanks to for this, Mama Cleo?
Honey, to the International Association of Blacks, to Denise,
Saunders
you know.
Wow, that is
Denise
gorgeous,
Saunders
Cleo.
Johnson is phenomenal. Yes. And I'm just so crazy because I'm trying to move fast. But
No, keep going, Cleo.
Dallas Black, honey. There we are doing rain dance by our wonderful Milton Myers.
Wow.
And Milton has been working with Philadelphia, blessing our companies. But honey, you know, Joan had this vision and it's over 30 years ago. So we're having our 30th anniversary. We are partying every day, girl. So this is, but what I found that was phenomenal is that in the research, we're talking about companies that started in the 40s and in the 50s and the 60s. My company started in the 70s. I thought that was something. I became real humble when I went, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? 50 years is nothing. So you see that, and 26 companies have been doing that many years. So it's just terrific. And here's all the beautiful ladies, baby. Look at that. Here I am. There's, well, Geraldine is.
Geraldine.
You know.
Oh, blessings.
So I miss her. But Debbie is doing a phenomenal job. Lula and her wonderful daughter and husband. And of course, you know, Ann Williams and I went to the same elementary school in Dallas, Texas.
Fantastic.
So you're doing a big promo for the rest of Black Dance Stories.
Oh,
Cleo.
Yes.
Wait, can I tell you something? Wait, you want to add something?
I do. I want to say something to Cleo. You know, you may not have gone on to a medical profession, but understand you are a second responder. And what is going to bring this country back is the spirit, the heart, the beauty of the work you do. You are Dr. Robinson.
Oh, please.
Thank
you. You are so wonderful, honey. I love you, sweetheart.
And she is Dr. Colleen too, right?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, sweetheart.
This was so wonderful. I want to say one more thing because I know Charmaine's going to jump in here.
Yes. No. I just want to tell you. I want to tell you that your sister is here watching. Auntie Joan. Well, not your personal sister.
My Joan is here.
Yes. Yay. Auntie
She's
Joan.
watching. And they're talking about how good
Mama
you love
Joan.
Cleo.
Oh, girl.
Oh my gosh.
I love you.
Oh my gosh.
I love you,
well,
honey.
I want to share with you, my 106-year-old grandmother said to me before she passed away, Mrs. Louise Max Thatcher, said, you must believe in something. You want to be a Baptist? Be a Baptist. You want to be a Catholic? Be a Catholic. You want to be a Buddhist? Be a Buddhist. But believe in something. I believe in dance.
I do too.
I believe in theater. We go, Cleo, as you said, sacred spaces. those are our sacred spaces. So my grandmother is looking down and saying, thank you, Cleo, for being a keeper of the temple.
Oh, honey, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, honey, and thank you for all you do. Bringing, I want to say this, we don't have a chance to be together enough. So, Charmaine, honey, we need another hour or so. Excuse me.
We need another couple of hours, Charmaine.
Wait.
Couple of hours.
I know there's a limited amount of time, but I just pray that we can continue because it's so necessary for our spirits. That's what I found when I'm with Joan and Ann and Lula and Debbie. And Denise, of course, she's taken it to a whole other level that we never even imagined. And I love when Joan tells the story when we came to Philadelphia. It wasn't just us. There were a number of it. I mean, let me tell you, he was there. Olatunji was with us. Baba Olatunji was with us. Rod Rogers was there. Elio, Dr. McHale. We had, we had these extraordinary minds and bodies with us, and we worked. I mean, Denise Jefferson. So we had lots of others who stayed there with us. Aiega, Aiega and I had gotten an award. So we've been able to feed each other, but we have been concerned about the universities and where do we show our work? And we talked about some of the things that were concerning us. First of all, how do we create the value for our work? And then of course we used to talk about the dance mafia. How do we get in there? Cocktail hours ago, there's a dance mafia, and we began to talk about that. You know what I mean? And we'd be in New York, and it happened. We'd start talking stuff, but that meant, how do we create more opportunity so that we all create this extraordinary place that we call America? What is this place? What is this place? When we do that land acknowledgement, when we understand our ancestors, they're saying, y'all can make room. Y'all can make room for others. Because I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to be that's so lonely.
And Cleo, I'm also going to throw in there, because I know our dear brother Joe Malillo is watching us. One of the things that everybody is working on, this country kind of shut down in the last 4 years in terms of international. And the world understood who we were because Cleo Parker Robinson Dance Company was touring, because DTH was touring, because we were out. And so the world understood America because of that. And that's where we have to get back to again. We have to get back to this international exchange. And also, like Charmaine Aubeny, so the world could come to us and we could go to the world.
Absolutely. You know what I think, as we talk about standing on the shoulders, that is my new work. I want you to know. When you said, I meant like this, what? So I couldn't figure out,
my mom.
So I said my new work, which I'll be opening in Vail at the Vail International Dance Festival. Damon asked me to do a new commission for the Vail reopening. And I was like, what? So I didn't want to. I have to tell you, honestly, I wasn't ready. My heart was too closed because there was so much pain around us. And the George Floyd and the trial I said, I don't want to make anybody happy right now. I want to stop and pay attention to our pain and figure out, how do we never get here again? And then I want to acknowledge the pain that Native Americans, Indigenous people, I mean, our own ancestors are like speaking to us like, that Middle Passage was something else. That was something else. I feel it, I hear it. So we just go on like, okay, we finally got through the pandemic. Let's do it. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I want to get us there, but I don't want us to miss this opportunity to correct and to undo some of the things, the systematic madness that we've created and allowed to happen, or felt we had no other choice. No other choice.
It is the time for speaking our truths. This is the time. More ears are open than ever before, speaking our truths.
That's right. And wherever we are, whatever positions we have quickly open the doors so others can come in and train them so they're successful. You know, they can't just come in because sometimes they have not had the opportunity to even be prepared.
Right.
So, you know, that sense of excellence that we all believe in, how do we have those, the luxury to do some of that, you know? So honey, I'm excited about the time. Now I'm ready to choreograph. I'm ready to make up something now because I needed to be uplifted by my own community first. I had to understand it. So this means so much to me. I just want you to know that.
And Charmaine, for both Cleo
I
and
am never
myself,
speechless, and I'm just.
I know you are speechless. Let me say this. What is important about Black dance stories is we can never forget where we came from. And for all of the young dancers that Cleo are training, all of the young dancers at Arizona State University, all of the young dancers out of the company, they have to know those who came before them. Those who came before them and pushed open those doors that Cleo is talking about. And they will learn that through Black dance stories. So Charmaine, this is a rite, a ritual, and a necessity.
So listen, Joe Malillo lifted you up. I'm just saying, because Joe said Colleen should explain how she went from dancing to be one of the premier performing arts presenters. So yes, Mama Cleo, open doors. But Mama Colleen, come on.
Oh, honey, you
Open
did.
doors.
You need to tell people about what you've been doing. I'm not here
Did it.
because
there are no other Colleen Jennings, I must say.
Well,
I mean, there's no other, but truly, where you are and what you've done and the staying steadfast for 28 years, that's phenomenal, honey, really.
Well, I have to tell you, my greatest joy, because people say, oh, you got that award, that award. Anna Glass said the other day, she said, you know, when I started out to become the general manager of DTH, I only had one role model. It was Colleen. It wasn't that she picked me out of a myriad of others. There was only one. So my goal is, and my deep belief is, there must be more of us. There must be more creatives. There must be more administrative young people. And I'm here to say, I mentor a lot of young Black people, women, BIPOC women. Call me, email me. There needs to be more. Because Cleo and I are one day going to step aside. Not yet, Cleo. We got a lot of time. But one day we will. But we want our places to be filled with people who look like us. So thank you, Joe, for lifting this up.
And Anna Glass, our executive director, not general manager.
Executive director.
But I want to say that we are all sisters of women of color. So we have to lift up the executive director. You say the name, Colleen.
Yes.
Kaisha.
Miss Johnson, we have to lift her up because she brought us together, and Allison was with her starting this journey. And now and everyone go on the website, look up Women of Color and join us.
Women of Color in the arts.
In the arts. Women of Color in the arts. There is a place for you, and we are waiting. Stephanie Hughley is there as a mentor. Baraka Saleh is there as a mentor. Vicky Shepard is there as a mentor. The elders, we are there. We are waiting for you. We are the ones we have been waiting for.
We're waiting for you. Absolutely. Honey, absolutely. Being in that room is just phenomenal.
Amazing.
I mean, just what we need. And, you know, women of color are uniting in a very, very, we're learning about each other, because I must say, sometimes we're so focused, and you all, you know what it takes to do what you do. So you're not really everywhere. You're not. And then when you come in that room, you be like, all right, y'all.
Look at this. This is us. This is us.
So, and we come in different shades and sizes and backgrounds and you know, lots of queens with just royal.
Lots of
queens.
Lots of queens. I see crowns on this entire screen here. Crowns.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
What an invitation.
I know.
What? Yes. I am a proud member.
Woka.
Right.
Woka.
Hey. Yeah.
Are you a member too, Kata?
She will.
Not yet,
She
but I will be.
Yet.
You will be. You will be.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all,
Yeah,
it's time.
This is
It's
important.
time. We have to say, I told you it's gonna be quick.
No. All right. Wait.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, honey.
To
Cheers.
everyone on this screen,
Salute.
everyone who will
absolutely.
appear on this screen, and everyone who will come after us. Black Dance Stories, brava.
Bravo.
Oh, yay, Black Dance Stories. Now, tell us if there's anything coming up. We know the Veil Festival, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything else, Mama Cleo?
Well, right now, the
As if
filmmakers
that's not
here
enough.
doing the University of Michigan, they were bringing us in. We will start Monday with Viviana Basanta from the National Company out of Mexico. Her, she is just brilliant. She's been choreographing for Journey, so we're ready to take it. We'll bring it to you, Colleen, honey. God, Lord.
All right.
I
All
love it.
right. All right.
Journeys, honey. It's
All
so
right.
beautiful. But it's
All right.
about how Mexico is influenced by Africa, by Asia, by, of course, Europe and indigenous culture. And we've been working on this piece for a year and a half. We started working in Oklahoma, and now we're going to finish it. She is flying in on Sunday, and we will be doing that work on this stage. And our animation person is in Japan. Actually, he's in Singapore because he couldn't get back to Japan. And he is just phenomenal. So having this rich kind of mixed culture of seeing ourselves in that way, rather than isolated, but really how connected we really are. So we
And I'm going to throw a shout out. Can I throw a quick shout out?
Yes,
On June 11th, the Global Pillow is happening, and the International Presenting Commons is working with HowlAround. It will be streamed live. Faustus Lineculia will be there from the International Festival in Kinshasa. Philip Bythers is interviewing him. We will have the festival from Melbourne and another festival coming in, and we will be talking about international, global arts and what we are doing to bring it back. June 11th, go to HowlAround, register, be there, join in the breakout rooms.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Stay with us.
Well, I'm gonna
stay with all of our activities. We've been doing things. I'm just so tickled with what Denise is doing with the staff. Every time I'm on the board and I hear, I go, how are y'all doing it in this pandemic? We are some creative people, let me tell you.
Yeah,
Honey,
and I want to say, send your donations to Black Dance Stories. I am returning my fee. Please use that, and I will send another check. Please do that.
Yes, indeedy, honey.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna turn it to Kata before we say our official goodbye.
Right.
But
All right.
what energy tonight?
Yes, I second that.
Been great.
So much queen energy.
Colleen, I
love,
love you, sweetheart. Thank you. I want to see you dance again. I want to see you dance again.
I think these bones. We gotta see if those bones keep moving.
Well, she's on the bicycle. I mean
I know, girl.
On the tandem. The legs work. I don't know about everything else.
All right, we gotta let Kata.
I want to see you dance. Okay, bye, sugar. Love you.
Love you.
Stay right there. Stay right there.
Oh.
Yes. So thank you.
Yes, I will come there to dance. You hold.
You better come on.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us tonight. A reminder to like, comment, and share this video on social media. So easy to do. Just hit that button down below this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Let's definitely grow this beautiful community. Also, huge thanks to our co-presenting family partner, 651 Arts, for helping to make Black Dance Stories continue to happen. You can
absolutely
check them out with wonderful things that they're doing on social media. Their Instagram is
Oh, we're losing.
Imani, yeah, she's going in and out. 651 Arts for sure. At 651 Arts on Instagram. Kata, you were going in and out. Can you repeat one more time?
Oh,
At 651.
yes. You can see all the wonderful things our co-presenting partner 651 Arts is doing on Instagram at the number 651 Arts. And hold on to your Thursday evening. Mark us down in your calendar because next week we have Laura Greer and Ann Williams.
Okay. We'll be there.
I love that. Yes,
You
yes.
can't stop us. Come on.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
You know how to put it together.
Last
Have fun.
cheers, everybody. Last cheers.
Cheers.
And
Cheers.
I say every
Cheers.
week, go on out there and get into some good trouble.
You will. Thank you, Charmaine.
See you next
Thank
week.
you, love. All right. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, love. Thank you.
Stay, stay, Mama Colleen. Stay, Mama Cleo.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Love you.
Bye,
Love you.
honey.
Bye-bye.
Love you.